grow up, I want to be a cleric. When I grow up, I want to be a sorcerer. When I grow up, I want to be a cleric, wizard, sorcerer, barbarian, fighter, warlock. Multiclassing. Probably one of the most mechanically interesting aspects of character creation in Dungeons & Dragons. You thought wizard was cool before? Well, now thanks to fighter, you gain the ability to swing around a sword real good. That being said, most multi-class combinations aren't actually that great. Sure, a spellcasting barbarian sounds good on paper, but then you actually play one in game and you realize that the only fireball you're going to be casting while you rage is this.
Yo, that's not a spell, you just drinking fireball! That was a good one! Bravo!
But just because some classes suck when paired together doesn't mean they all do. When a multiclass is done right, your character can go from quirky little adventure baby to the game-breaking menace your DM is constantly trying to get rid of. And that's why we're here. This is Son of a Lich, where in the spirit of terrifying dungeon masters everywhere, we've compiled a list of 3 multiclass combinations your DM is sure to hate. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Unless you're a dungeon master. You're probably gonna hate this video if you're a dungeon master. This first multi-class combination involves the upcoming new class, the Psion. As of writing and recording this video, the Psion is still in the playtesting phase and could very well receive numerous changes from Wizards of the Coast. That being said, the version of the Psion stats that we're using are from the UA 9 version of the class, so depending on when you watch this video, the Psion could be a lot better or a lot worse than what's described here. That being said, as of right now, the Psion is an incredible intelligence-based spellcaster, and it gets even better when you pair its Metamorph subclass with Fighter. The Metamorph subclass allows you to use your psionic powers to mutate your body in a variety of visceral ways, basically turning you into James Heller from Prototype 2. When you take this subclass at Psion level 3, you get its mutable form and organic weapon features. With mutable form, you can expend a psionic energy die as a bonus action to gain temporary hit points and these 3 other features. The ones we'll be focusing on are Reach and Speed, which give you 5 extra feet of melee range and movement respectively. The Organic Weapon feature allows you to morph a free hand into one of 3 weapon options when you take the attack action on your turn. The weapon options are the Bone Blade, the Viscera Launcher, and the Flesh Maul, which is the only weapon you'll need for this multiclass. The Flesh Maul is a strength-based weapon, but you can opt to use your intelligence modifier for its attack and damage rolls. It deals 1d10 bludgeoning damage on a hit, and gives the target disadvantage on its next strength or constitution save that it makes before the start of its next turn. These 2 features alone already make the Metamorph really good, but if you pair it with Fighter, it becomes a force to be reckoned with. Immediately when you multiclass into Fighter, you are rewarded with your choice of a fighting style feat. Dueling would probably be the best pick for this combo, since it gives you a +2 bonus to your damage rolls with the Flesh Maul. Then, at Fighter level 2, you get access to Action Surge, and at Fighter level 3, it all comes together when you gain access to the Battlemaster subclass. Battlemaster Fighter gets access to 3 special maneuvers that you get to choose when you take the subclass. For this combo, 2 that you'll want are Pushing Attack and Trip Attack. Both of those maneuvers add superiority die to the damage of your attack, but they also both require a strength saving throw. Now, as long as you hit a creature with a Flesh Maul, you can force that creature to make a strength saving throw, which it will automatically have disadvantage on because you hit it with the Flesh Maul. This combination of features gives you insane combat maneuverability, and that only gets better when you're playing a Bugbear. Bugbears already add an additional 5 feet to their melee range. Pair this with the additional 5 feet you get from mutable form, and you can hit a creature from up to 15 feet away. You can then apply your Trip Attack to the hit to force the creature to make a strength saving throw at disadvantage to avoid being knocked prone. If it fails the save, then that creature will have to use half of its movement to get back up on its turn. Most creatures have a speed of about 30 feet, which means that the 15 feet of movement it will have left should be enough for it to reach you again on its turn. But it won't have enough movement if you use your bonus action to use the Psion's telekinetic propel feature to push that creature an additional 5 feet away from you. But if your target does happen to have more than 30 feet of movement speed, then you can just use your 35 feet of movement speed thanks to mutable form to play the most hilarious game of keep away with your enemy. Oh, and this multi-class only gets better as you take more levels in Fighter. Once you reach level 4, you can take the Crusher feat to automatically push a creature 5 feet away with an attack that deals bludgeoning damage, like the Flesh Maul. Then at Fighter level 5, you gain access to Extra Attack. Now you can use one attack to hit a creature with your Flesh Maul and apply the Trip Attack to knock them prone, but you also deal bludgeoning damage equal to 1d10 plus 1d8 plus 2 plus your Strength or Intelligence modifier. Then you can use your next attack with the Flesh Maul to apply the push from the Crusher feat and your pushing attack to push the target up to 20 feet away from you. And you deal an additional chunk of bludgeoning damage, but honestly, damage isn't even the fun part of this multi-class. The fun part is taking every enemy your DM throws at you and turning them into bowling pins. Okay, I know I was just making fun of spellcasting barbarians in the intro of this video, but this next class combination is actually a lot better than you might think. When you reach level 3 in Wizard, you can take the Bladesinger subclass, which gives you access to the Blade Song feature. You can activate your Blade Song as a bonus action, and while it's active, you can add your Intelligence modifier to your weapon attacks and your concentration checks. But what's even better is that you can add your Intelligence modifier to your armor class. And this stacks with the Barbarian's unarmored defense, which it gets at level 1. Wizards can prepare the Mage Armor spell at level 1, which changes their base AC from 10 to 13. Mage Armor isn't a concentration spell, so as long as you cast it before combat, you can have an AC of 13 plus your Dexterity modifier, plus your Constitution modifier, plus your Intelligence modifier, and you can still rage without ending the effects of your Mage Armor. But at maximum, this could be an AC of 28, and it could go even higher than that if you have magic items or boons that increase your AC or one of those 3 base stats. Needless to say, you are not getting hit with an attack roll if you take this multi-class. But let's just say for a second that I'm wrong, and you do get hit with an attack roll. Well, as long as you're raging, you have resistance to that attack if it's bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage. Okay, then what if the attack uses a damage type that you don't resist? Well, at Bladesinger level 10, you gain access to Song of Defense, which allows you to use a reaction to expend a spell slot to reduce the incoming damage by 5 times the level of the expended spell slot. Depending on the level of the spell slot that you expend, you can nullify anywhere between 5 and 45 points of incoming damage.
Now that's a lot of damage!
But if you think that defense is all this multi-class is good for, you'd be wrong. At level 6, Bladesinger gives you access to the Extra Attack feature, and if you dip just one more level into Barbarian, you also gain access to the Reckless Attack feature for advantage on your attack rolls. And since your armor class is so high, the advantage your enemies get on attack rolls against you isn't something you'll have to worry about when going reckless. You can just sit back, relax, and recklessly attack enemy after enemy after enemy. Alright, but what if being a menace to your DM isn't good enough? What if you want to be a menace to, say, the entire party? Oh boy. Have I got a multi-class for you? Monk probably isn't the first class that comes to mind when you think stealthy assassins, but its Warrior of Shadows subclass basically turns Monk into a magic ninja. And its best feature is the ability to cast the level 2 spell Darkness by only expending a focus point to do so with Shadow Arts. The only downside to this is the fact that Warrior of Shadow doesn't give you a way to see through magical darkness. If only there was a way. If only there was some feature in all of D&D that gave you that ability. If you dip 2 levels into Warlock, you can grab the Devil's Sight invocation, which will allow you to see 120 feet in magical darkness. This will allow you to envelop yourself and your enemies in a 30-foot sphere of magical darkness with no downsides to you, as you kick the shit out of them with advantage because they can't see. As for the other melee fighters in your party, they'll be fine. Let's just not think about them too much.
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
At Warlock level 2, you actually get 2 more Eldritch invocations. So after Devil's Sight, I suggest speccing into Eldritch Mind for advantage on concentration checks, and Agonizing Blast. Now you might be thinking,
Objection!
Porter, why are we grabbing Agonizing Blast for a melee build when Eldritch Blast is a ranged spell? Well, we're not actually taking Eldritch Blast. In 2024, Agonizing Blast allows you to choose any Warlock cantrip that deals damage and add your Charisma modifier to the damage roll. Also in 2024, True Strike is technically a damaging spell. It has you make a weapon attack using your spellcasting modifier for attack and damage rolls, your spellcasting modifier in this case being Charisma. And because True Strike has you use the damage dice of the weapon, you can replace that damage dice with your martial arts die as long as you are using a monk weapon to cast the spell. This means that at a minimum level of 3, you will be able to do 1d6 damage plus your charisma modifier plus your charisma modifier. But back to fighting people in pitch black darkness. At level 6, the Warrior of Shadow subclass gives you access to the Shadow Step feature, which allows you to teleport up to 60 feet away as long as you start in an area of dim light or darkness. Considering that this subclass also gives you access to a portable sphere of darkness, you should be able to do this anytime. Then at level 11, your Shadow Step feature gets upgraded to allow you to make an unarmed attack immediately after you teleport as a part of that same bonus action. So now you can attack something with your True Strike, then teleport away as a bonus action, and immediately attack something else with an unarmed attack right after you teleport. All in all, Monk Warlock is an excellent multi-class. In fact, all of the class combinations we talked about in this video are insanely good, and there are even more that we didn't get a chance to mention. Though you might want to ask your DM how they feel about Unearthed Arcana content before you multi-class into Psion like I talked about in this video. It's just common courtesy. But I hope that all the D&D fanatics watching this video enjoy tormenting their dungeon masters with these class combos. If you want to see us make a video like this again, let us know in the comments down below. We'd be happy to oblige. And don't forget to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more D&D related content. But until next time, can we get a level up?